Donkey Kong Bongos working on the Nintendo Switch via the GameCube Adapter. So this is a Wii U GameCube Adapter, and this is plugged straight into the dock of the Nintendo Switch. At the moment we've got it set to Wii U mode, so this is where every single port is a different player. But when you set it to PC mode, we have one extra button on here, so I'll show you that in a moment. Now obviously we're lacking a lot of buttons on here because they are bongos. So we're lacking a left analog stick or the left D-pad. So we're going to be really limited to the games we can play, but there is a couple of games we can play and it adds an element of fun. This video is just for a bit of fun. Don't take it too seriously. You're not going to be using these if you were really wanting to complete a game. Now, if we go to test controller buttons, I'm going to show you the different buttons on here. There is more than you would think, because if you look closely at the drum pads here, can you see that there's a dividing line on them? So the bottom is actually a different button from the top one. So let me just show you that. So, test controller buttons, here we go. So if I press the bottom here, it's going to be A, the top is going to be X, this side is B and the top is going to be Y. So that is exactly the same as if we hold our controller like this. So look here, we've got A and X. So A and X is this side and B and Y is this side. So it's the same as just doing your controller like that. We also have a start pause button here, which is the plus. But unfortunately, the clap mode doesn't work when we're in the Wii U mode. But if we put this May Flash adapter to the PC mode, so that's where every port on the front is working as player 1, then check this out. You can now see that that's gone to R, or an easier way, if I just tap my ring against the side, you can see. And believe it or not, there's very little lag on this. Check this out. Yep, so it is actually very responsive. Now, the main problem is we can't work our way around any menu or anything because I haven't got a D-pad. So you're also going to have your either Joy-Con handy or your Pro Controller handy. But check this out. I was wondering if there's any games out there that would use just, for example, 1, 2, 3 or 4 buttons. And there is a couple that I have found. There might be more out of there, but these are the ones that I found. So this game works surprisingly well. Knight Terrors. This is a very cheap game, but it is actually quite a bit of fun. There are going to be more games that are suited to, for example, mobile phones, you know, where like Flappy Birds or Angry Birds, where you're just tapping 1 or 2 things on the screen. So we've got Knight Terrors and also we've got King Oddball. So let me just show you Knight Terrors. Let me show you King Oddball first. So if I go to A there. Right, so the idea of this is just kind of like Angry Birds, so we only have to use the A button here, and it's basically to smash up the place, just like Angry Birds. You want to get rid of the tanks or whatever you need to get rid of on the screen. Obviously, the more you go on with the levels, the harder and harder it gets. Again, this game is fun. These games are really cheap. They're only a few pounds. Okay, so you get the idea of that one. Now let's do Knight Terrors, which is a lot more fun when it comes to the bongos. Now for this one, we're going to be using A and Y. So we're going to be using the bottom of the right one and the Y on the top one here. Now, it'd be good fun for someone to complete this game on the bongos. That would be a bit of a challenge. Years ago, someone's got the world record for the Dark Souls with the Donkey Kong Bongo drums, so it'd be interesting to do something similar on the Switch. So you can see I'm hitting Y to jump and this one here to attack. So it's A to attack, Y to jump. And it's quite satisfying whacking the bongos. And if you hold this one down, you can see you can fly. So it's kind of a bit like Flappy Birds meets Ghosts and Goblins from years ago. And basically you can't let any of them pass you or hit into you. So as you can see, it does actually, it does work really well. Obviously it's harder to play this way, but you know, some of you like a challenge out there. So if you've got your favourite game that's too easy to complete, then try it on the bongos and see how far you get. Good thing is, these bongos second hand now are really cheap. I got these for, I think it was about £3 from Computer Exchange in the UK. Ah, see, that one's gone past me. But you can see as you get further in the game how it gets harder and harder. Right, I suppose I better end it there before the video goes on too long. But you get the idea that it does work well. And we got the plus button there, remember to do your pause and stuff. So as you can see, it works surprisingly well.